My brothers and sisters, the Lord has shown his light unto you, and he has blessed you abundantly. For if it was not so, you wouldn't have made it this far into your education levels. And now you're looking forward to join the university level. So first of all, you have to understand, what are you signing up for? Basically, the university is an institution established to finalize the long-going process which you have been putting up to since the nursery and primary levels. And now, it's at the top, I can say the top of the food chain. Now, as you're going into the university, your life will be much better if you move with intentions rather than just casting out lots and hoping better things to come onto your path. What do I mean when I say this? I mean that it is very important for you to know who you are, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and adding to that, it is more important to know what is your calling and what are opportunities which align with what your calling is and what you're going to choose to establish yourself into. They are tough questions, but if you find time to reflect on yourself and you think through them, you're going to find answers. And I remember when I was going into the university, it was one of the most challenging time for me. I was like, so you mean this is what I'm going to do right now is going to affect most of the part of my life? So it's one of the decisions which we take them lightly, but we are here today so as we can find the common ground. Because trust me, bro, many people are now advising you have to go to this university, you have to choose this course, but they are missing one thing. They do not know you as good as you know yourself. So the only guy who needs to stand and do the research, and I'm not saying you should decide on your own, but you have to do the research and share it. You have to be honest. Like, this is what I'm finding out based on my strength and weakness. I can fit here. Now, today we're going to cover 7 things. I really obsessed with 7 because 7 is a perfect number. God created the world in 7 days. So we're going to discuss 7 things which you need to get right before you open a university. Number 1, overcome the peer pressure. Yes, I know you have your friend. You have been studying with her maybe from ordinary level to advanced level. And you guys are so friends that you want to live together in a happy ever after kind of life. But you even want to go on the same course. But you're missing something important. You two guys are individuals. And although you love each other, you are different. So you have to consider your independent situation. Basically, I'm talking about your home. From the economic status, because economic status is one of the most important things. Because once you're signing on to university, you're signing on something which is majorly depending on economics, because it's all about career. It's like, what can you offer, or what skills can you learn and offer them to the world so as you can serve the world. I know it's more than economies, but majorly look at the economic status at your home and make it a responsibility for you to make it better. Now, how to consider the situation at home? You have to know the economic status, as I've already told you, and appreciate your parents for the sacrifice they have made to the point right now you are heading to the university level. And adding to that, I want to warn you guys on why it is important for you to think independently. Take an example, a scenario where there are 2 friends. One of them is coming from a bit well-off family, and another one, you're coming from, like I say, relatively poor family. Now, let's say your friend chooses to go and study anthropology. If you don't know, anthropology is the study of digging skulls, like Dr. Louis Leakey, and saying, oh, this skull was dated 1959, this is the first man, blah, blah, blah. If you're coming from a poor family, you're not at the point where you have that luxury to do that. You have to at some sort, even if it's your passion to study these skulls and bones, you have to sacrifice. And on the part of sacrifice, you have to look like, man, all these people at home, they're looking at my education as the ticket out of poverty. Even though it doesn't mean like you're going to supply them with monthly paycheck every month. No. But if you become well established, it's a relief to them. They have somewhere to lean on when times are very hard. So unless you have a plan on how you're going to feed your families with these skulls which you're going to dig down from the ground, pick up something economical. So, point number 2, pick a worthy opponent. What I mean is, don't come into the university with the mindset of which course is the easiest or course gani litakula bata vizuri. It's better to don't come at all rather than coming with this kind of mindsets. And I say this due to the following reasons. In 3 to 5 years, you're going to be graduating, and the years of fun are not going to be there to help you to build a career or supply and support your family. Also, if you go down this route, you're going to be idle. And being idle will sooner or later guide you into bad company, and you'll find yourself in a position where you're either a drug addict, alcoholic, or even a prostitute. So it's very important to look at what you're capable of, inner strength, outer strength, and choose the maximum load you can bear. It's part of being a man, or even if it's part of growing up. Even if you're a woman, it's part of growing up. Point number 3, know your strength and your weaknesses. After I've told you just to choose a worthy opponent, you have to know your strength and your weaknesses. This will help you to excel in whatever you're going to undertake on your university level. I don't want to put any limits on you. I mean, like, truly, I have seen people who, like, back in the days, the teachers used to label them as underperformers, poor achievers, like physics was tough for them, all these kind of subjects. But right now, they're achieving wonderfully. So the most important part you need to know is, like, in whatever path you're going to take, you have to know, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and you need to work more to get better on your weaknesses and double down on your strength before you get into that course mindset, or you have to prepare yourself mindset in all senses. And even after you have enrolled into that part, you need to work on your strength and weaknesses. I don't want to talk much about this part because we are different people. You have to sit down with yourself and just analyze all of the life. You have lived over 18 something years right now. You know most of yourselves. Analyze, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses? And I'm going to choose this. Ask the people who are already there, and people, even if you have the access to the people who are already working on that field, it's even much better. Gather the data, do the research, and know, man, if I'm going down this road, I'm going to experience this and this and this. Based on my strength and my weaknesses, I have to prepare myself in these ways. After that, we're moving forward. Number 4, start with momentum. Guys, I am not going to lie to you. I'm telling you the truth. This is the secret of the universe. Have you ever heard that saying, first impression matters a lot? This doesn't apply only to people. If you get into a new environment and you say to yourself, when I get into this environment, I want to adopt this kind of discipline in my life. I want to be perceived as this kind of a person. It's very easier for you to establish that identity compared to changing the identity in the common environment which you are currently living right now. So, as you get inside Make sure you work very hard to the point that your first exams you get the best grades you can get. If you get, let's say, a GPA of 4 to 5, I guarantee you that it is much easier for you to maintain and even get better grades for the rest of your studies. But if you start with the cheaper and lower grades, you have a very, very tough job to do. So have the momentum. And also, as I have said, it's not only on your grades. Say to yourself, I want to adopt certain kind of discipline. I want to be a person who is working out. Because I can tell you, right now you can look yourself, I am slim, I am young. Because at school, you didn't have that freedom to eat everything. There were some constraints, which they were like struggling, suffering, but they were shaping you. Sooner or later, if you enroll into these higher levels of educations, if you don't have the discipline to exercise, you're going to look old, fat, and slabby. So prepare yourself, like say to yourself, these are the disciplines. And even before you have already enrolled, start to practice them slowly at home and get that momentum. But what I'm going to tell you, this is even, I can say it's among the top 3 factors which you need to consider. Momentum, momentum, momentum. The way you're going to start is the way you're going to be able to maintain and even run it over to the end. Number 5, get undeniably good with your skill. It doesn't matter if you're going to business school, it doesn't matter if you're going to an engineering school, it doesn't matter if you're going to a mineral school. Who am I leaving behind? Creative, filming, whatever. The main thing you have to do, you have to stand out. This is the only thing which is going to guarantee you that after you are done with your 3 to 5 years, you're going to be somebody whom the world is going to pick up faster, or you're going to be integrated into the system. Or if not the system, you're going to have the advantage. You can even start a business or anything and it's going to catch up faster because you are competent. The university is just a place to equip people with skills. So the better you become at skills, the sharper your skills are, the more the edge you have in the labor market. Now, point number 6, nothing is personal. Seek help. Throughout my life at campus, I have experienced and I have seen some of my friends. Sometimes they face some things and they feel like they should carry on the load, like it's only happening to them. No, the struggle, the constraint economically which you're going to face through, it's common to almost everybody. And I think you should be seeking help. Talk to your parents or guardians, or if you have another person whom you feel comfortable, if it's a brother, someone who you know is going to pay attention, is going to give you the ear and pay attention and going to genuinely help you. Share it with them. Seek help. Nothing is personal. And this is important because the more you personalize every struggle you're going through, you're not going to have a great time. And you might even get to a point where you just feel like maybe you should drop out or quit. I don't advise you to do any kind of those decisions for any silly reasons. So whatever you face challenges, seek help, man. Talk to your bro. You can even talk to your friends. Sometimes you can just share with your friends and you can get better solutions compared to just keeping it in your heart and living in a hell. Talking about hell, point number 7. At this point is the time when you're going to need God the most. What do I mean when you need God the most? Remember, this is the final part, the final stage. It's either you're getting it all right or you mess everything up. So, and not everybody is sharing it up for you. Honestly, maybe I'm the only guy. Apart from my family, I'm the other guy who's cheering it up for you. Because throughout my experience, I have seen like there's no point or there's no reason in jealousy. Because at some point, If there's no point of jealousy, because you're not going to provide or help that person all their life. And people who are independent are attractive to be around, because they also inspire to be independent and to become great. So I'm cheering for you. Now, as I've told you, this is the final part. You either mess around or you get everything right. You need God, because if not everybody is cheering you, some people want you to fall. They want you to fail. You are on a spiritual warfare with some people. There's some people who have said, oh, they have made some rituals like, in your family, no anybody should get close to a degree. Maybe you're the first person to do that, or maybe now you are the second, your father was the first, or your brother, your uncle, your sister. Any case, so you have a spiritual warfare at hand, of which you need to be strong, physically, mentally, and spiritually, to take it down. The other part is, you're going to be tempted a lot. In the university, it's the time when you need God, because you're going to be tempted with lust, you're going to be tempted with alcoholism, you're going to be tempted with every kind of these things which they are going to destroy your soul in one way or another. It's either you equip yourself with the truth, and only Jesus Christ can save you. It's either you equip yourself to the truth, and you always remind yourself with the truth, of which the truth is Jesus Christ, and you share yourself with the truth. You surround yourself with people who are speaking the truth. Unless otherwise, the world, the people in the university are going to brainwash you. You're going to fall down into alcoholism. You're going to fall down into prostitution. You're going to fall down into drug addiction. And it's kind of painful. Sometimes parents, all they care about is, did you get the degree? And I asked myself this question, like, what will it profit a man if you gain that degree? You gain the whole world, but you lost your soul on your time in the university.